Here's Trump's another wave of tariff pressure for India. And you may wonder why again. Well, this time it's all because of Indian rice exports. And this whole discussion started after US farmers told the White House that cheap, subsidized rice from countries like India is hurting their prices.
And we do believe that countries are dumping rice into this country today. We've never seen imports this great.
Which countries?
India, Thailand, even China into Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico used to be one of the largest markets for U.S. rice. We haven't shipped rice into Puerto Rico in years. So this has been happening for years. This didn't start during your administration, but unfortunately, we're seeing it in a much bigger way now. The tariffs are working, but we need to double down because
you want more. I mean,
well, they're cheating, right? They're they're just subsidizing and then
India. Tell me about India. Why is India allowed to do that? They have to pay tariffs. Do they have an exemption on rice?
No, sir. We're still working on their trade deal.
Now, at a meeting on 8 December, Trump openly questioned why India can send large volumes of rice to the US without extra duties. He called it dumping and said he would take care of it. He even linked India with other rice exporting countries like Vietnam, Thailand, China, and brought up fertilizers issue with Canada. And basically framed all of it as a big protect US farmers fight. But here's the important point. No new tariff has actually been announced yet. This is still a threat, a signal, not a final policy. But even a threat from Trump is enough to create noise in the market. So today we are breaking down what Trump has said, what the current policy status is, and most importantly, how this could impact India, our exporters, our markets, and even our diplomacy. Hi, this is Khatija and you're watching Lokmat Times. We will give you the details, but before we do that, do subscribe and press the bell icon for all the latest updates. Now let's get into the story and why it matters for India. First, the basics. India is world's largest rice exporter, but the US, it's actually not a big customer for us. During financial year 2024 to 2025, India exported around $337 million worth of Basmati rice to the US and about $55 million worth of non-Basmati. Together, that's roughly rupees 3,500 crore in exports. Important, yes, but compared to our total global rice exports, it's still a small slice. Even today, Indian rice entering the US already faces tariffs. Earlier, it was 10% after Trump's previous duties. It effectively became 40%. And still, exports continued smoothly because the extra cost was mostly passed on to American buyers who love Basmati and aromatic rice. Indian farmers and exporters didn't see a major shock.
India, who else?
So India,
mark it down. What'd you say?
Yes, sir.
India, Thailand, China into Puerto Rico, not into continental U.S., but into Puerto Rico. Those are the main culprits.
So Puerto Rico used to do a lot of business, and now you
100% Puerto Rico was U.S. based.
So will another round of tariffs hit India badly? Well, experts say not directly because again, the US is not our main market. Our big markets are in the Middle East, Africa, and Europe. But here's where India gets affected: the uncertainty. Even the talk of tariffs have already hit Indian rice exporter stocks. When there is uncertainty, buyers in the US start delaying orders. Some start exploring alternatives like Vietnam or Thailand. Even if the actual tariff never comes, the confusion itself slowed down trade. Another impact is diplomatic pressure. India and the US were already having tough trade talks. There are issues on medical devices, tariffs on tech goods, and now rice gets added to the pile. Trump is clearly using this as leverage for a bigger deal, basically telling India that give me something or I'll hit your exports. So for India, this becomes both a trade challenge and a political message, especially because rice subsidies are linked to our farmers, MSP, and domestic politics. So India cannot simply roll back support. There is also one more angle. If tariffs rise sharply, Indian rice in the US becomes more expensive. That means US buyers will reduce some volumes. It won't collapse our export industry, but specific Basmati exporters who depend on the US market will feel the pinch. So overall, here's the summary. No tariff has been announced yet. It's a warning. Direct exports loss for India may be limited because the US is a small share of our rice trade. But the market reaction, the fear among exporters, and the slowdown of orders can hurt. And diplomatically, this adds to the list of trade tensions India is already managing. So in short, even if the impact isn't huge in numbers, the signal is important.